This is the Tapajós River in Brazil. The valley is home to unique wildlife and a large tribe of indigenous people, the Munduruku. It's the last free-flowing tributary of the Amazon, yet to be dammed by a hydroelectric scheme. But for how much longer? Brazilian state electricity firm Eletrobras has plans to construct several dams across the river. The largest proposed would stretch for 5 miles across the valley. Campaigners fear the Tapajós could end up looking like this, the giant Belo Monte Dam project in the north of Brazil. The area flooded above the dam and drained below it would displace wildlife and people.
The Tapajós River, where they want to build this dam, is probably one of the most important biodiversity hotspots in the Amazon. Lots of species are still being discovered there. There's a huge tribe of Munduruku people, more than 11,000 people who will be hugely impacted by this, as well as riverside communities. So when you look at the human rights issues and you look at the biodiversity issues, they are immense.
Last week, with the world's eyes on Brazil during the Olympic Games, campaigners claimed a major triumph. On the day of the opening ceremony, Brazil's government cancelled environmental permits for the proposed Tapajós Dam. But concerns remain. Plans for the main dam or smaller ones on the same river aren't gone forever.
There are a few major multinational corporations, Siemens is one of them, that is involved in dam projects in the Amazon. We want these companies to say they will not be involved in these mega dams in the heart of the Amazon before contracts are signed.
That's why, when much of Britain is following our sporting tribe's successes in Brazil, a delegation from the Munduruku has flown here. They want to lobby global engineering giant Siemens to forego any future involvement in Amazon dams. It has had no role in the yet-to-be green-lighted Tapajós project, but through its interest in German turbine maker Voith, Siemens has in the past contributed to several large dam projects in Brazil. In a statement, Siemens told Channel 4 News,
"We are always mindful of the environmental and societal impact of any large infrastructure project in which we could become involved. It is the responsibility of the sovereign Brazilian government to work with scientists, NGOs and its communities to help secure the most sustainable, reliable and affordable supply of power for the people of Brazil."
The company also told us it will be happy to meet the Munduruku delegation at Siemens HQ in Frimley, Surrey, tomorrow.
Tom Clark there. Well, I've been speaking to Chief Arnaldo Caba Munduruku, an indigenous leader whose community would be threatened by the building of these dams. I started by asking him how important it was that the Brazilian government had decided to delay construction of the main dam on his tribal lands.
It's good news, but this doesn't mean that this is where it will end. We don't want this dam to be built because I've seen what it means to build a dam in these areas. We're still scared that they will soon build it, and we're worried because they don't want to build just one, but several. And we're scared that if they go ahead with it, we'll be forced off our lands. When I think about the dams that have already been built, all you see is complete destruction. The land is flooded and completely destroyed.
The Brazilian government say quite clearly these dams are needed to create power for millions and millions of Brazilians who desperately need to improve the quality of their life. You're a small community. Why should your needs be put above those of millions and millions of Brazilians?
It's true that there aren't many of us, but that doesn't mean we're not important. We're not just a community. We too form part of the natural world, the rivers, the fish, the animals. They need to respect this and respect our way of life.
You mentioned the natural world, the environment there. Of course, we see Brazil hosting the Olympics. At the opening ceremony, a good deal was made of the environment, of the rainforest. Do you think, though, Brazil is truly committed to looking after both the rainforest and the environment at large?
The Brazilian government doesn't have a real commitment to the environment. Because of this, so much sacred land has already been destroyed. Land, animals, rivers, fish, all of it. There's been so much destruction in our region. This is why we're fighting the Brazilian government not to build anything. The forest has already been hugely reduced. All they do is kill everything that lives there. We want them to do something to help our indigenous communities instead.
Chief Arnaldo Caba Munduruku, thank you very much for joining us.